Sagittarius, the conversation that clears your next step. There is a conversation coming into your life that will do something no amount of thinking on your own could ever accomplish. It will clear your next step completely. Not eventually, not in some distant, far-off season. Soon. And when it arrives, you will feel something shift inside your chest like a locked door finally swinging open. If you are a Sagittarius, or if you have strong Sagittarius energy in your chart, then what I am about to share with you is not just guidance. It is a direct mirror of what the universe is already preparing in your path right now. You have been carrying something heavy lately, not always something you can name. Sometimes it is just a fog, a hesitation, a feeling that you should be moving but you do not know which direction deserves your energy. That uncertainty has been weighing on you more than most people realize. Because on the outside you look fine, you look strong, you look like someone who has it together. But on the inside, there has been a quiet question circling your mind over and over again. What is my next step? That question is about to be answered, not through a sign in the sky or some dramatic event, but through a real, honest, human conversation that clears the path ahead of you in ways you cannot yet imagine. Stay with me through every single section of this message. Each one builds on the last. And by the end, you will not just understand what is coming, you will be ready for it. Tip 1. The energy around you right now is shifting from confusion toward clarity, and you need to understand why that matters more than you think. Let me be honest with you about something. The last several weeks, maybe even months, have felt like walking through a thick fog. Not the kind of fog where you are completely lost. More like the kind where you can see just far enough ahead to take one more step, but never far enough to feel truly confident about where you are going. That kind of uncertainty is exhausting. It drains you in ways that have nothing to do with physical tiredness. It drains your spirit. It drains your motivation. It makes you question things you used to feel sure about. And for someone like you, a Sagittarius who thrives on forward motion and big vision, being stuck in that kind of energy is one of the hardest things you can experience. But here is what you need to hear right now. That fog is lifting. Not because you figured out some magical solution. Not because someone handed you a map. It is lifting because the energy around you is genuinely shifting. The planets are moving into positions that favor clarity for your sign. The cycles that kept things murky and uncertain are completing themselves. And what is replacing them is something you have not felt in a while. A sense of direction that comes from deep within, not from outside pressure or obligation. You see, Sagittarius, there is a difference between knowing what you should do and knowing what you are meant to do. For a long time, you have been operating from the first kind of knowing. You have been doing what makes sense, what seems logical, what other people expect from you. And there is nothing wrong with that. Kept you going, kept you stable, but it also kept you disconnected from that deeper fire that lives inside you. The one that used to guide you without hesitation. That fire is coming back. And the conversation I mentioned at the beginning of this message is going to be one of the first signs that it has returned. This is not a small thing. When your inner fire reignites, everything starts to move differently. Decisions become easier. Relationships become clearer. Your sense of purpose stops feeling like something you have to chase and starts feeling like something that simply lives in you again. But before all of that can happen, you need to recognize the shift that is already underway. You need to stop looking for clarity outside of yourself and start noticing that it is already beginning to form inside of you. The fog was never permanent. It was a season, and that season is ending now. What many Sagittarius souls do not realize is that confusion often comes right before your biggest breakthroughs. It is not a punishment. It is not a sign that you are doing something wrong. It is actually the universe rearranging things behind the scenes so that when the path finally opens up, it leads somewhere truly worthy of your energy. Think about the times in your past when everything suddenly became clear after a long stretch of not knowing. That same pattern is repeating itself right now. The only difference is that this time, you are more prepared. You have more wisdom. You have more experience. And you have a deeper understanding of who you are and what you actually want from this life. So as you move through the next few days and weeks, pay attention to the subtle shifts happening around you. The way certain conversations start to feel different. The way certain ideas suddenly make more sense than they did before. The way your body begins to relax into decisions that used to feel impossible. These are all signs that the fog is lifting, and what comes next is going to surprise you in the best possible way. But before we get there, you need to understand exactly what kind of conversation the universe is preparing for you. And that is what the next section reveals. Tip 2. A specific conversation is coming that will act as a turning point, and recognizing it when it arrives will change everything. Now I want to talk to you about the heart of this message. The conversation that is on its way to you. This is not something vague or abstract. This is a real exchange with a real person that is going to happen in your near future. It might come from someone you already know. It might come from someone you have recently met. It could even come from someone you have not spoken to in a long time who suddenly reaches out with something important to say. The details of who it is matter less than the feeling it will create inside you. When this conversation happens, you will know it. You will feel it in your gut. There will be a moment during the exchange where something the other person says lands differently than anything else you have heard in weeks. It will not be dramatic. They might not even realize how significant their words are. But for you, it will be like a light switching on in a dark room. Suddenly, things that made no sense start to make perfect sense. Questions you have been wrestling with begin to answer themselves. And the step you have been afraid to take suddenly does not feel scary anymore. This is what I call a clearing conversation. It is a moment where the universe uses another person as a messenger to deliver exactly what you need to hear at exactly the right time. Sagittarius, you are someone who processes the world through experience and dialogue. You are not the kind of person who figures everything out alone in a quiet room. You need interaction. You need the spark that comes from exchanging ideas and feelings with another human being. And the universe knows this about you. That is why it is sending this conversation your way. But here is the part that most people miss. You have to be open to it when it arrives. If you are too guarded, too distracted, too caught up in your own spiral of overthinking, you might let this moment pass without realizing what it was. That would not be the end of the world. The universe is patient and it will try again. But why wait longer than you have to? You have already waited long enough. The key to recognizing this conversation is paying attention to how it makes you feel, not just what the other person says. The words themselves might be simple. They might even be about something that seems unrelated to your bigger questions. But the feeling you get, that sudden lightness, that flash of knowing, that moment where your shoulders drop and you take a full breath for the first time in what feels like forever, that is how you will know. That feeling is the clearing. That feeling is the next step revealing itself. Some Sagittarius souls will experience this conversation in an unexpected setting. Maybe during a casual moment that you did not plan. Maybe during a phone call you almost did not answer. Maybe during a meal with someone you see regularly, but have never spoken to on a deeper level. The universe loves to work through unexpected channels because it keeps you humble and reminds you that guidance does not always come in grand, obvious packages. Sometimes it comes in a quiet sentence spoken by someone who has no idea they just changed your life. So keep your heart open. Keep your ears ready. And when someone says something that makes you pause, that makes you feel something stir deep in your chest, do not brush it off. Sit with it. Let it settle. Let it do its work inside you. Because that conversation is not just a moment. It is a doorway. And once you walk through it, the path ahead of you will be clearer than it has been in a very, very long time. But there is a reason the path has been so hard to see until now. And it has nothing to do with the universe hiding it from you. If what you're hearing feels accurate, imagine what could happen if you applied this energy intentionally for 21 consecutive days. That's exactly what the 21-day program in the pinned comment is built for. Daily guidance, focused direction, and real momentum. If you're tired of staying in the same cycle, this is your structure. Tip 3. The reason this step has felt so unclear is not because you lack direction, but because you have been trying to see too far ahead at once. I need to tell you something that might feel uncomfortable at first, but will set you free once you truly take it in. The reason your next step has felt so unclear is not because you are lost. It is not because you made a wrong turn somewhere. It is not because you lack intelligence or intuition or courage. The reason it has felt unclear is because you, dear Sagittarius, have been trying to see too far ahead. You have been trying to understand the whole journey before you take the first step. And that, more than anything else, is what has been holding you still. This is one of the most common struggles for your sign. Sagittarius energy is visionary energy. You are wired to think big, dream big, and imagine futures that most people cannot even comprehend. That is a gift, truly is. But it also comes with a shadow side. When you try to see the whole picture before you are ready, the picture looks blurry. And when the picture looks blurry, you interpret that blurriness as a sign that something is wrong. You think it means you are on the wrong path. You think it means the universe is not supporting you. But the truth is far simpler than that. The picture is blurry because you are trying to see something that has not fully formed yet. Imagine standing at the edge of a forest at dawn. The sun has not fully risen yet. You can see the first few trees clearly, but everything beyond that is wrapped in shadow. Does that mean the forest is not there? Of course not. It just means the light has not reached it yet. And the same is true for your path right now. The next step is clear enough to take. But the step after that and the step after that are still waiting for more light. And that light comes from movement, not from standing still and squinting into the darkness. This is why the conversation I described in the previous section is so important. It is not going to reveal your entire future. It is not going to hand you a 10-year plan. What it is going to do is illuminate the very next step. The one that is right in front of you, the one you can actually take right now. And once you take that step, the one after it will become visible. And then the one after that. This is how life works for Sagittarius. Not in grand revelations, but in a series of illuminated steps, each one lighting up just in time. So stop putting pressure on yourself to have it all figured out. Stop comparing your journey to people who seem to have everything mapped out. Those people are either pretending or they are on a completely different path that does not apply to you. Your path is an adventure. It always has been. And adventures, by their very nature, do not come with detailed maps. They come with instincts, with courage, and with the willingness to take one step at a time and trust that the ground will be solid when your foot lands. The moment you release the need to see everything at once, you will feel an enormous weight lift from your shoulders. You will realize that you were never stuck. You were just overwhelmed by the size of the vision you were trying to hold. Shrink the frame. Focus on what is directly in front of you, and let the rest reveal itself in its own perfect timing. That is not giving up on your big dreams. That is honoring the way those dreams are meant to unfold. One clear, confident step at a time. And speaking of what your body has been trying to tell you about all of this, there are signals you have been ignoring that hold the real key to trusting your direction. Tip 4. Your body has been sending you signals that your mind has been ignoring, and those signals hold the key to trusting your next move. There is something I want to draw your attention to that most people overlook entirely when they are trying to figure out their next step. It is not your thoughts. It is not your plans. It is not the advice other people give you. It is your body. Your physical body has been sending you signals for weeks now, and your busy, overactive mind has been pushing those signals aside like they do not matter. But they matter more than you know. Sagittarius, you are naturally in tune with your body when you are not overthinking. When you are in your best energy, you are active, adventurous, and physically engaged with the world around you. But when you get stuck in a mental loop, when you start trying to figure everything out with your brain alone, you disconnect from your body. You stop listening to the subtle messages it sends you. The tightness in your stomach when something is not right. The warmth in your chest when you think about something that excites you. The heaviness in your limbs when you are forcing yourself to go in a direction that does not serve you. These signals are not random. They are your body's way of communicating what your soul already knows. And right now, in this season of your life, learning to listen to those signals again is one of the most important things you can do. Because your mind can lie to you. Your mind can spin stories and create scenarios that have nothing to do with reality. But your body does not lie. Your body responds to truth. And if you can learn to feel the difference between a yes and a no in your physical being, you will never be truly lost again. Think back over the past few weeks. Have there been moments where your body reacted to something before your mind had time to process it? Maybe you met someone and felt an instant sense of calm, even though you had no logical reason to trust them yet. Maybe you thought about a particular decision and felt your jaw clench or your breathing become shallow. Maybe you woke up in the middle of the night with a feeling in your chest that you could not explain. Not quite anxiety, not quite excitement, but something in between. Those were all signals, and they were all trying to tell you something about the path ahead. The conversation that is coming into your life is going to activate your body in a specific way. When it happens, you will feel something physically shift. It might be a release of tension you did not even know you were holding. It might be a flutter of energy in your solar plexus. It might be a sudden urge to stand up, to move, to do something instead of just sitting and waiting. When you feel that physical response, trust it. It is confirmation that what you are hearing is aligned with your truth. It is your body saying yes before your mind has finished analyzing all the reasons why it might not work. Starting today, I want you to practice checking in with your body regularly. Before you make a decision, pause and notice how your body feels about it. Before you agree to something, notice whether your shoulders are relaxed or tense. Before you dismiss an idea, notice whether your heart rate changes when you think about it. These small acts of physical awareness will sharpen your intuition enormously. And by the time that clearing conversation arrives, you will be ready to receive its message not just with your ears, but with your entire being. That is where the real power lies. Not in what you think, but in what you feel in your bones. And once you start trusting those bone-deep signals, you will also start to see something else that has been quietly draining your ability to move forward. And that is what we need to address next. Tip 5. Old patterns of people-pleasing and self-sacrifice are being stripped away. And that is not a loss but a liberation. Something has been happening to you over the past several months that might have felt painful, even confusing, but is actually one of the healthiest shifts you have experienced in years. Old patterns are being stripped away. Specifically, patterns of putting everyone else first. Patterns of saying yes when your whole body screams no. Patterns of bending yourself into shapes that make other people comfortable, while leaving you exhausted and resentful. These patterns are leaving you. And even though their departure might feel disorienting, I need you to understand that this is not a loss. This is a liberation. Sagittarius, you have a generous heart. You always have. You are the kind of person who will give your last bit of energy to help someone you care about. You will sacrifice your own comfort, your own plans, your own needs just to make sure the people around you are okay. And for a long time, you believed that was what love looked like. You believed that being a good person meant always being available, always being accommodating, always putting your own desires at the bottom of the list. But the universe is teaching you something different now. It is teaching you that self-sacrifice is not love. It is a habit. And it is a habit that has been quietly stealing your life force for longer than you want to admit. The conversations you have been having lately, the ones that have felt heavier or more frustrating than usual, are part of this stripping away process. You are starting to notice when people take more than they give. You are starting to feel the difference between genuine requests for help and manipulation disguised as need. You are starting to get uncomfortable with dynamics that you used to tolerate without question. And that discomfort is not a problem. It is growth. It is your soul waking up and saying, enough. I deserve to receive as much as I give. This matters deeply when it comes to your next step because many of the decisions you have been struggling with are not actually difficult decisions. They only feel difficult because you have been filtering them through an old pattern that says your needs come last. When you remove that filter, the answers become remarkably simple. Should you stay in that situation that drains you? No. Should you keep giving your time to someone who never reciprocates? No. Should you put off that dream one more year because someone else needs you to be stable and available? No. These are not complicated questions. They only seem complicated when you believe that choosing yourself is selfish. Let me be very clear about something. Choosing yourself is not selfish. It is necessary. It is the foundation upon which everything else is built. You cannot pour from an empty vessel, and your vessel has been running dangerously low. The universe is not asking you to become cold or uncaring. It is asking you to find balance. It is asking you to be as generous with yourself as you are with everyone else. And when you start doing that, something remarkable happens. Your energy returns. Your clarity returns. Your joy returns. And the people who truly love you, the ones who want you to be happy, not just useful, they will celebrate the change. The conversation that is coming will touch on this theme in some way. It might be subtle. The other person might not directly say, "Stop giving so much of yourself away." But something in the exchange will remind you of your own worth. Something will trigger a memory or a feeling that makes you realize just how far you have drifted from your own center. And that realization, as simple as it sounds, will be one of the most powerful clearing moments you have experienced in years. Because once you remember who you are and what you deserve, the next step becomes obvious. It always does. And part of what that next step involves is something very practical. Something the universe is already lining up on the material side of your life. Tip 6. A financial or material shift is aligning itself in your favor, and it is directly connected to the clarity you are about to receive. Now I want to talk about something practical, because spiritual clarity means very little if it does not translate into your everyday life. And the truth is, Sagittarius, your everyday life is about to receive some very welcome news on the material front. A financial or practical shift is aligning itself in your favor right now. It might come in the form of a new opportunity. It might come as a resolution to something that has been causing you stress. It might come as an unexpected resource appearing at exactly the right time. But however it shows up, it is real, and it is connected to the broader clearing that is happening in your energy field. Here is what many people do not understand about money and material resources. They are not separate from your spiritual journey. They are a direct reflection of it. When your energy is blocked, your finances tend to feel blocked too. When your clarity is foggy, your ability to attract and manage resources becomes foggy as well. And when you start to clear the inner fog, when you start to step into alignment with your true path, the material world begins to respond. Not through magical thinking or wishful hoping, but through the very real mechanism of aligned action meeting prepared opportunity. You have been working hard, Sagittarius, harder than most people around you realize. You have been putting in effort, making sacrifices, doing the responsible thing day after day, even when it felt thankless. And somewhere inside you, there has been a quiet frustration building. A feeling that your effort should be producing better results by now. A feeling that the return on your investment, whether that is time, energy, or actual money, has not been fair. I want to validate that feeling because it is accurate. You have been operating below your earning potential, not because you lack talent or skill, but because your energy has been scattered across too many directions and too many other people's priorities. The clearing conversation that is coming is going to help you focus. And when a Sagittarius truly focuses their considerable energy on a single direction, the results can be extraordinary. You do not need a dozen opportunities. You need one clear channel, one path that you can pour yourself into with full confidence and commitment. And that channel is about to reveal itself in a way that makes sense to both your heart and your practical mind. In the coming weeks, pay close attention to any conversation that touches on work, money, or how you spend your daily energy. Even casual comments from others can contain seeds of opportunity that you might overlook if you are not paying attention. Someone might mention a need that perfectly matches something you are good at. Someone might share an idea that sparks a connection in your mind to something you have been thinking about for months. Someone might offer you something, a partnership, a role, a resource, that seems small on the surface but has the potential to grow into something significant. Do not dismiss these moments as coincidence. They are not. They are the universe responding to the shift in your energy. They are proof that when you start to align with your true path, the material world rearranges itself to support you. The old saying that fortune favors the bold is especially true for Sagittarius. And the boldest thing you can do right now is believe that you deserve more than what you have been settling for, and then take action when the opportunity presents itself. That opportunity is closer than you think. Much closer. And it is not the only area of your life that is about to transform. There is also something shifting in a relationship that you need to be aware of. Tip 7. A relationship dynamic is transforming, and it will play a central role in your next chapter. There is a relationship in your life that is undergoing a quiet but profound transformation right now. You may have already started to feel it. A shift in the energy between you and someone who matters to you. It might feel unsettling. It might feel exciting. It might feel like both at the same time. But whatever you are feeling, I want you to know that this transformation is necessary, and it is ultimately going to serve you in beautiful ways. Sagittarius, you are someone who values freedom in relationships. You need space to breathe, to explore, to grow, but you also crave deep connection. You want someone who sees you, truly sees you, not just the adventurous, optimistic surface, but the deeper layers underneath. The fears, the doubts, the tender places you do not show most people. Finding that balance between freedom and depth has been one of the great challenges of your life. And right now, the universe is helping you find it in a way you have not experienced before. The relationship that is transforming could be romantic, but it does not have to be. It could be a friendship that is deepening into something more meaningful. It could be a family connection that is healing after years of distance. It could be a professional relationship that is evolving into genuine mutual respect and collaboration. The specific type of relationship matters less than the quality of the change. And the quality of this change is unmistakable. It is moving toward honesty. Real, unfiltered, sometimes uncomfortable honesty. This connects directly to the clearing conversation I have been describing. In fact, this relationship might be the exact source of that conversation. The person involved in this transformation may be the one who says the words that clear your next step. Not because they are wiser than you or because they have some special knowledge you lack, but because their perspective, combined with the trust that exists between you, creates a safe space for truth to emerge. And in that space, things become clear that could never become clear while you were alone with your own thoughts. Here is something important to understand about this transformation. It requires vulnerability from you. It requires you to let go of the need to appear strong, capable, and in control. It requires you to admit, perhaps out loud for the first time, that you do not have everything figured out. And for a Sagittarius, that can feel terrifying. You are used to being the one who inspires others, the one who has the answers, the one who keeps moving forward no matter what. But right now, the universe is asking you to be the one who receives, to let someone else hold space for you, to let someone else's words carry you forward instead of always carrying yourself. This is not weakness. This is wisdom. The wisest people in the world know when to lead and when to follow, when to speak and when to listen, when to give and when to receive. You are entering a season of receiving, Sagittarius. And the relationship that is transforming in your life is one of the primary channels through which that receiving will happen. Let it. Do not resist it. Do not analyze it to death. Just let the transformation unfold and trust that it is leading somewhere good. Because it is. And when you look back on this time a year from now, this relationship and this conversation will stand out as one of the turning points that changed everything. But before you can fully step into this new chapter, there is something old that needs to release its grip on you first. A fear that has been quietly running in the background of your mind for longer than you want to admit. Tip 8. The fear that has been quietly running in the background of your mind is about to lose its power. And here is how that happens. I know there is a fear that lives inside you. You might not talk about it. You might not even fully acknowledge it to yourself. But it is there, running in the background of your thoughts like a quiet hum. You have gotten so used to that you barely notice it anymore. It is the fear that you have missed your window, that the best opportunities have already passed you by, that the time to make your big move was years ago and now it is too late. That fear has been whispering to you in the quiet moments, before you fall asleep, when you first wake up, during those long pauses when you are alone with your thoughts, and there is nothing to distract you from the voice in your head. I need you to hear me clearly. That fear is lying to you. It has always been lying to you. And it is about to lose its power over you completely. Here is the thing about fear, Sagittarius. It does not actually go away on its own. You cannot think your way out of it. You cannot wait for it to dissolve. You cannot pretend it is not there and hope that works. Fear loses its power in only one way, through action. Specifically, through the action of taking a step forward while the fear is still present. Not after the fear goes away, not when you feel ready, but right now, exactly as you are, with the fear still humming in the background. That is courage. And courage is not the absence of fear. It is the decision that something else matters more. The conversation that is coming into your life is going to give you that something else. It is going to remind you of what matters more than your fear. It might remind you of a dream you quietly set aside. It might remind you of a version of yourself that you used to be. A bolder, freer, more alive version that got buried under years of responsibilities and compromises and playing it safe. Whatever it reminds you of, the effect will be the same. The fear that has been running your decisions will suddenly seem small compared to the possibility that opens up in front of you. Think about this for a moment. Every major positive change in your life happened because you took a step forward while you were still afraid. Every adventure you went on, every relationship you started, every job you took, every move you made. Not one of those things happened after you felt completely ready and completely fearless. They happened because you decided to move despite the uncertainty. And that same courage is available to you right now. It never left. It was just waiting for the right moment to be activated again. The fear of missed windows is particularly cruel because it creates a self-fulfilling cycle. You fear that it is too late, so you hesitate. And the more you hesitate, the more it feels like it is too late. But the truth is that it is never too late to begin something meaningful. It is never too late to change direction. It is never too late to honor who you truly are. People start new chapters at every age. People reinvent themselves in every season of life. The idea that there is a deadline for becoming who you are meant to be is a myth, and it is a myth that has kept too many Sagittarius souls sitting on the sidelines of their own lives. So when that clearing conversation comes, and when it stirs something inside you that feels bigger than the fear, hold on to that feeling. Write it down if you need to. Tell someone about it. Do whatever it takes to keep that spark alive, because that spark is the antidote to the fear. And once it catches fire, once you start moving again with purpose and clarity, the fear does not stand a chance. Never did. And now that the fear is loosening its hold, the universe has a very specific instruction for how you should use this newfound freedom. Some people watch, others transform. If you want to be in the second group, the 21-day guide in the pinned comment gives you a clear step-by-step process aligned with your sign. This isn't about waiting, it's about moving. Tip 9. The universe is asking you to simplify, and the power of your next chapter depends on what you are willing to let go of now. There is a word that the universe keeps placing in front of you, and that word is simplify. Not because your life needs to become boring or small. Nothing could be further from the truth for a Sagittarius. But because the complexity you have been living in has become a barrier to the very thing you want most, clarity and forward motion. You have too many tabs open, metaphorically speaking, too many commitments, too many half-finished projects, too many obligations that no longer serve you but that you keep carrying out of habit or guilt. And all of that noise is drowning out the signal you need to hear. Simplifying does not mean shrinking your life. It means clearing away everything that is not essential so that what is essential has room to breathe and grow. Think of it like a garden. If you let every weed grow alongside the flowers, eventually the weeds choke out the very things you planted on purpose. You do not hate the weeds. You do not judge them for being there. You simply recognize that if you want the garden to thrive, some things need to be removed. Your life is that garden right now, and the universe is handing you the tools to start clearing. This process of simplification is going to require some honest assessment. You need to look at your daily routines and ask yourself which ones are actually moving you forward, and which ones are just keeping you busy. There is a massive difference between those two things, Sagittarius. Being busy is not the same as being productive, and being productive is not the same as being purposeful. What the universe is calling you toward right now is purposeful action. The kind of action where every step is intentional and aligned with the direction you truly want to go. Start with the small things. The commitments you agree to out of politeness but dread following through on. The activities that drain your energy without giving anything meaningful in return. The relationships where you do all the giving and none of the receiving. The habits that numb you instead of nourishing you. These are the weeds. And clearing them out is not cruel or ungrateful. It is necessary maintenance for a life that is trying to bloom. When you begin to simplify, something interesting happens. Space opens up. Literal time in your schedule, but also energetic space in your heart and mind. And into that space, new things begin to flow. Ideas you did not have room for before. Opportunities you were too overwhelmed to notice. Connections that require a calmer, more centered version of you to sustain. The next chapter of your life does not need more. Needs less but better. Less noise, more signal. Less obligation, more intention. Less fear, more faith. The clearing conversation that is coming will likely touch on this theme of simplification. Someone might say something that helps you see clearly which things in your life are essential and which are excess. And when you hear it, you will feel a sense of relief so deep it might bring tears to your eyes. Not sad tears. Relief tears. The kind that come when you finally give yourself permission to set down a weight you have been carrying for far too long. That permission is coming, Sagittarius. And once you have it, you will wonder why you ever waited so long to lighten your load. Now, with all of that cleared away, you need to understand just how much potential is sitting in the stretch of time directly ahead of you. Tip 10. The next 90 days hold more potential for you than the last year combined, and every single choice you make right now is shaping that outcome. I want to end this journey together by talking about what is directly ahead of you, because Sagittarius, the next 90 days of your life hold more potential, more possibility, and more transformative power than the entire last year combined. I do not say that to create pressure. I say it to wake you up, to shake you gently out of any remaining fog and remind you that this is not a time for passive living. This is a time for active, intentional, fully engaged participation in the creation of your own future. Everything I have talked about in this message, the clearing conversation, the shift in your energy, the release of old patterns, the financial alignment, the relationship transformation, the death of fear, the call to simplify. All of these threads are converging into a single powerful window of opportunity. Not the kind of opportunity that knocks once and then disappears forever, but the kind that opens wide and stays open long enough for you to walk through with confidence, as long as you are paying attention and willing to move. The choices you make in the coming weeks and months are going to echo through the next several years of your life. That is not an exaggeration. It is simply how energy works. When you are in an alignment window like the one you are entering now, every decision carries more weight. Every yes and every no has amplified consequences. This is not something to fear. It is something to respect. It means that the small choices, how you spend your mornings, who you give your time to, what you think about before you fall asleep, what you reach for first when you wake up. These small choices are building the foundation of whatever comes next. I have watched so many Sagittarius souls waste their alignment windows because they were waiting to feel ready. They were waiting for the fear to go away. They were waiting for someone else to give them permission. They were waiting for a sign that was big enough and obvious enough that they could not possibly ignore it. But the signs are never that obvious, Sagittarius. They are subtle. They are quiet. They come in the form of a feeling in your chest, a conversation over a meal, a sentence in a message like this one that makes something click into place. If you keep waiting for the sky to open up and a voice to tell you what to do, you will wait forever. But if you are willing to trust the quiet signals, the ones that your body feels and your heart recognizes even when your mind is still catching up, then you will never miss another opportunity again. The clearing conversation is coming. The shift is already underway. Your next step is forming in the energy around you right now, and it is closer to becoming visible than you realize. All you need to do is stay open, stay present, and be willing to move when the moment arrives. Not perfectly, not fearlessly, just willingly. That is enough. That has always been enough. You are not behind, Sagittarius. You are not too late. You are not too old. You are not too broken. You are exactly where you need to be for what is about to happen next. And what is about to happen next is going to remind you of something you may have forgotten: that your life is not winding down. It is just getting started. The best chapters are not behind you. They are ahead of you. And every single word in this message has been preparing you to walk into them with your head high, your heart open, and your fire fully lit. I want you to take this feeling with you, Sagittarius. Not just this information, but this feeling. The one that is stirring in your chest right now as you hear these words. That feeling is real. That feeling is yours. And that feeling is proof that something inside you already knows exactly what to do. You do not need anyone else to validate your next step. You do not need the whole world to agree with your direction. You just need to agree with yourself. And I believe with everything in me that you are closer to that agreement than you have been in a very long time. Trust your fire. Trust your instincts. Trust the conversation that is coming. And most importantly, trust yourself. Because the version of you that is about to emerge from this season of clearing and alignment is someone extraordinary. Someone brave. Someone focused. Someone who finally stopped waiting for permission and started living with purpose. That version of you is not some distant future dream. That version of you is right here, right now, waiting for you to say yes. So say yes, Sagittarius. Say yes to the next step. Say yes to the unknown. Say yes to the beautiful, terrifying, exhilarating adventure of becoming who you were always meant to be. The conversation is coming. The path is clearing. And your fire, that magnificent, unstoppable, world-changing fire, is ready to burn brighter than ever before. You have two options after this video: close it and hope things shift, or decide that the next 21 days will be different. If you choose the second, the structured 21-day transformation aligned with your sign is waiting in the pinned comment. The energy is already moving, the only question is whether you are.